Hello guys, it's me Sanjay here. Warmly welcome you all for this session. I would like to show you another, simplified Bible version of the PCB design. So definitely it is going to be so interesting. So I'll give a very quick recap about it. Okay, we won't spend much time, but it is going to be a very quick recap. So while talking about this, the first one is called the substrate core. What is meant by the substrate core? This PCB is a substrate. Okay, just wait a minute. Let me disable the portrait lighting. Okay, this material, okay, the PCB board, which every products which is all getting manufactured, all the boards you are seeing it at the left side. Okay, these are all these boards which is all manufactured on the material of this FR4. So while talking about this FR4, this is fiberglass reinforced epoxy, and it is cheap and strong, but it is having some thermal limit. It can't able to handle more than 140 degrees Celsius, guys. Okay, so you just remember it can't able to handle more than 140 degree Celsius. Okay, this is what the limitation which it have, but it is okay. Like that is what the first one called substrate. Okay, are you clear about the substrate? And the second one, which is gonna be the quality. Like the quality of this PCB board, like when comparing with the normal previous old version or normal PCB board, how can we able to determine the quality of the PCB is based on the IPC standards. And in our previous sessions, we have already discussed about a lot of standards. Out of that, we are going to use this IPC 2221, which is the generic standard design. Okay, so that's what the second thing. And third thing, which is unit of measurement. While talking about the unit of measurement, you need to memorize this one. Okay, just memorize it. What is that? Which is 1 mil is equals to 0.0001 inch is equals to 0.0254 millimeter. Okay, please memorize this because we will really we need to do a lot of important stuffs here. Because if you are talking about the drill size, like these holes, so these holes and all, if you are talking about this drill sizes and all, which is going to be mentioned in mm. Whereas the lines are going there, right? Like you can see the deeper lines which is going between one component with another. So these lines which is all gonna be mentioned in the mills. Okay, just keep that in your mind whenever you are talking about the drills like this. So these drills are mentioned and gonna be mentioned in the mm, whereas the trace width and components pitches and everything which is going to be mentioned in the mills. So 1 mils is equals to 0.001 inch is equals to 0.0254 millimeter. Okay, did you guys memorize it? Yes. So that's what the third important point. And fourth one, which is going to be the layer stack. What do you mean by layer stack? Based on the complexity of if your board is having a lot of components, and if the routing, like one component and another component, if the wire is going in this way, okay, so at the same time, if there is another component, the wire, if it is getting colliding with this, so instead we can put as a new layer, and through that new layer you can bring up that connections. Okay, that's what the layer stack. So while talking about the layer stack, first initially you just focus on 2 layer and 4 layer. So if you talk about the 2 layer PCB, even this microcontroller, which is all going to be the 2 layer PCB. So you can see if you are talking about this 2 layer PCB, what it really means is at the top and the bottom. That's it. Okay, top layer for components and the routing. You can see all the components which is all placed at the top, and at the bottom we will be using it for the soldering, the vertical soldering or vertical routing. Okay, even you can place the SMD components as well at the top. So while talking about the SMD component, you can see here. Okay, just carefully see here. This is one of the SMD, like where the soldering patch which has been done at the top. Okay, so yeah, so you can see this is what the A05N microcontroller board. You can see all the component which is all placed at the top, and which is all got soldered at the back side. This is all okay, but at the top also there will be some copper patches. This is the one component which you can see that it is also soldered, or that heat sink or some thing which has been soldered at the top layer as well. So this is what the 2 layer board, where the top for components are routing and bottom for soldering or vertical routing. Okay, are you clear about that 2 layer board? 2 layer is okay. Then what about the 4-layer? So while talking about this 4-layer, which is very, very important for the noise detection, especially if you talk about the DSP board. Even the board which I have exactly in my hand is a DSP board, TMS32. This is pre-4 version, this is after version. So while talking about this 4-layer PCB board, where how the stack, which is going to be number 1 layer for stack, another layer is for ground, another layer is for power, another layer is for signal. Okay, that's what the stack of the 4-layer boards. Guys, these contents are very precise and very to the point. Okay, if the content is really precise and if you guys really feel very easy about it, you just post easy Sanjay in your comment section. And then wires. So while talking about the wires, it's very simple. Like at the top, so imagine if this is a 4-layer board. Yes, of course, it is a PCB, is a 4-layer board. So at the top, there is some component, and there should be connection between this component versus the backside this component means. Then how that connection which is gonna go, it is gonna penetrate inside this board, and then it should come in this side, and then it should connect with this. That's what the bias is all about. So while talking about this bias, through hole bias, blind wire, and buried wire. So through hole wire is drilled through the entire board, standard and cheap. For an example, if you talk about normally like normal PCBs and that, so there will be a hole. You will put the component there and you will solder at the back side. This is what a normal through hole via, because this is the top layer. This is the bottom layer, and there is a connection between the top layer and the bottom layer through the through hole via. Okay, are you all clear about the through hole via? So through hole via is clear. But the next thing is a blind via and buried via. Blind via and buried via, which is and all, we are not gonna use it, until it is required, because otherwise the cost is gonna be really high. Okay, so while talking about this, blind via connects outer layer to the inner layer. Okay, like just inner layer, like outside, like top and bottom is outer layer. So through the inner layer, in between, if there are 2 layers, that is what the blind via. Buried via, hidden entirely inside inner layers. Hidden inside means, so only between these 2 layers, that is what the buried via. Guys, is it clear? All people just post clear, Sanjay, in your comment section. Okay, is it going good, the flow, and are you understanding each and every point? So that's what is all about. Through hole via is like from the top to the bottom, and it is getting out. That's what the through hole via, the hole. Okay, where the connections which is are there between the top and bottom, that's what the through hole. Blind, which is from outer to inner. Okay, like first top and bottom to in between second and third. So that's what the blind via. Buried via means only between the second and third layers, like which is center. So that's what the buried via. But these 2 via, which is not required until it is needed. Okay, otherwise it is gonna cost you a lot of money. Even if you are talking about the 2-layer PCB versus the 4-layer PCB, definitely 4-layer PCB, which is gonna be costly. Okay, when comparatively. And then the pads and copper posts. So while talking about the pads and copper posts, pads are very simple. The landing zone of the component. You can see, if you see here, there's a chip. In this chip, you can see these are all the, like pads. Okay, all the silver color things which you are seeing in this board. Okay, can you see this? All the silver color things which you are seeing in this board, which is all the pads. So the landing zone for the component, where the components are getting landed. And you can see round, which is for the through hole components. So what do you mean by the through hole components? You can see this is a through hole component. Okay, where it is going to be soldered. So through hole components means round. So you can see these are all through hole components. Okay, so where you can see the pads are round. Okay, can you see this, guys? So you just see this. So these are all through hole components, where the component which is going to be penetrated and you will be soldering at the behind this. So these through hole components are like round. Okay, but other components are SMD components. These are all SMD LEDs, SMD resistors. So SMD means like surface mount. So you will be placing at the top and you will solder at the top itself. So instead of putting holes and all. So this is what the SMD components. So that SMD components are, you can see all the pads are rectangle. Guys, are you clear? So for the through hole components, we have to use the pads as round. But for the SMD component, we have to use the pads as a rectangle. That's what the second thing. And then copper post. while talking about the copper pores, it is like whenever you have a large ground planes and all, we will be using copper used for the ground planes and for thermal management as well, for heat sinking. For example, if you see here, there is a center, in between the center, there is a chip where we have given a bigger pad, okay, which is like also one of which is going to be helpful for like thermal management of the chip. At the same time, sometimes the copper which is going to be spreaded between the whole empty areas and those things to spread the heat among all the copper areas. Instead of copper area is driving between only 1,000 lines, instead we can spread the copper all over the board wherever there is a empty spaces, so that that temperature and everything which is going to be evenly distributed for the whole board, instead of that whole temperature which is driving through one copper thin line. So we can spread it over the whole board. So that's what the copper pore is all about. Okay. And then here we have the design workflow. So while talking about the design workflow, this is what we already know. Like first of all, we are going to do the schematic design, and then we are going to do the placement, and then we are going to do the routing. Okay. In this today's session, we are going to do this two both. And then the DRC as well. So DRC is a design rule check, which is going to be helpful for checking out the manufacturing failures. And then we are going to do the Java creation and production and assembly. Okay, where we will be pick and place the components onto the board and you will be soldering it and all these things. And then design rules and constraints. While talking about the design rules, remember if you are talking about the electrical clearances, for between the trace to trace, we need to use minimum 0.1 mm, which is 4 millis. Whereas for between VR to trace, we need to use minimum 0.05 mm. Okay, because it is going to be very helpful for preventing a shortage and all. Okay, shorting between the traces and vias and other components and all. It is going to be very helpful. And mechanical traces, boards edge keep out. Edge keep out in the sense like where the copper needed to be edged at the ends. Because what if the copper is up to the end? What if while cutting the PCB, if they have cut it with the copper, it is going to be completely collapsed. So we should be very aware. Board edge keep out and mounting holes also we need to be aware, because for need 1 mm clearance for screws washers, because sometimes we need to put up that washers and all for the connectors. Even if you see this one, sorry, this is the connector for you can practice it for RS232. So you can see for that here we have two mounting holes. Okay, so this hole is where it is getting inserted, and here also we guys have soldered. So this is what for mounting holes and all we need to have a clearance, so that we can have this resistor and LED near or somewhat bit away from it. So that's what the mechanical clearances also we have to be aware of. And then while talking about the trace geometry, the current capacity, because with it is not going to be random. Okay, instead we need to calculate based on the IPC 221 standard formula, so that all the current temperature rise, and based on that we will be deciding it. And rule of thumb, very simple. For the signal, most of the time we will be using 0.1 mm to 0.2 mm. For the power with this and all, we will be using 0.5 to 2 plus mm. Okay, that's what the rule of thumb. And then the layout strategy. While talking about the layout strategy, first one is the placement, where we need to place connectors at the edges. So if you see the board, all the connectors are placed in the edges. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5, and 6. So these are all connectors which is all placed on the edges of the boards, so that we can able to easily connect the wires. If you are putting it center, we can't able to connect it. That's what the placement strategy. And place power regulator and crystal oscillator immediately near to the IC. For an example, this is a main IC. So if you talk about the power regulators or crystal oscillator, you can see this silver one, which is a crystal oscillator. So this silver crystal oscillator, which is need to be kept very near to the IC. Okay. So if this is the main chip, you should not keep the crystal here or something. So if this is the main chip, if it needs a crystal need to be placed very near to the main chip. That's the second point. And third, group analog and digital separately to prevent noise. Because you should not merge analog components with the digital components. So we have to group it together. So here and all it is for analog. Here it is for digital. Here it is for analog. Here it is for digital. So you need to group it. Otherwise, that digital or analog signal, which will create some noises, which is gonna cause you some issue. So that's what the third rule we have to be aware of. And while talking about the routing strategy, always have a power and ground which is needed to be routed at first. So route these first to ensure low resistance. That's the first thing. And second priority, you need to give it for the clock signals because it is very, very sensitive and it is going to be noisy. Okay, small deflection, small problem or small mistakes, which is going to cause you a lot of noises. So that's why this is going to be the second priority. And then high speed or analog signals, that's what the third priority. And general IOs like digital pins and general IOs and all can be given for the last priority. So while talking about the routing strategy, first power and ground, second clock signals, third high speed or analog, and fourth one which is going to be for general IOs. And also very importantly, whenever you are routing it, routing in the sense like lines between one component versus another. So you just carefully see this. Those lines are not sharp 90-degree cuts. Okay, can you see this? Any line, is it any line as a sharp 90-degree cuts, guys? Okay, just give me a comment in the live chat. Okay, does any lines are sharp 90-degree cuts? Okay, even you can see this part. So it is not like straight and right or something like it is not 90-degree. It is been inclined like some rounded or certain kind of border which is like some 45-degree angle shift. So some little shift need to be there. So okay, it should not have sharp 90-degree shift. So that's what the very important thing. So you should not have it in that way. Otherwise, it is going to cause you some, reflections and those things. And then we should not use the loops in analog traces as well. That's what the layout strategy. And after the layout strategy, now then talking about the power integrity, we have to use the decoupling capacitor. Must be placed close as possible to the IC's power points. So for an example, here, this is a main IC you can see. So with that main IC, the decoupling capacitor, which is needed to be kept very, very near to the chip. Okay, decoupling capacity is very, very essential, which is gonna be helpful for handling your noise and everything. So you should be very, very aware of. Okay, so are you all clear? So that's what is it? The decoupling capacitor, which is need to be kept near to the IC, like crystal and all. So this decoupling capacitor, which is need to be kept near to the IC, and then the ground planes, where we need to use a solid fills. It should not be like thin or something like that. So the ground plane, which is needed to be a solid fills, which is going to be helpful for providing a low impedance return path and all. Return path in the sense like in the same path, it might have some EMI and those things. So for to prevent it out, so ground planes, we should use a solid fills. And then while talking about the signal integrity, to have an impedance control, so we guys have already discussed that crucial for USB, PCI, etc. For this and all, we need to have an impedance control around 90 ohm for the USB and all. So that's what the impedance control. And then differential pairs, that and all we will be learning on the upcoming sessions very in deep, guys. So for the differential, we need to route them parallel and length matched PN invoice together. And then the manufacturing, while talking about the manufacturing, solder mask and silk screen is there. Solder mask means here the red color is the solder mask, here green color is the solder mask. Okay, are you clear about the solder mask? So that red color is the solder mask here green color is the solder mask here the black is the solder mask here. Whereas the silk screen is the white color text which has been written in here. Okay, white color text and white color rectangular borders, everything which has been drawn here, no? So these are all known as the silk screen, okay, which is gonna all company's logo and the border and component name, everything which is all called as a silk screen. That's what they're about the manufacturer. And then while talking about the assembly essentials, so we'll be discussing about fiducials, where little copper circles that help pick and place the robot to see the board alignment, which is for the automated. If you are going for the bulk manufacturing, this is very, very essential. And then test points, where it is going to be helpful for debugging the board later. Sometimes if it is a very miniature component, so we will have some test points to test each and every component manually. And then we need to create the BOM as well, like bill of materials, where it is going to give you the complete list of the components which are using, part number and everything. Other than that, guys, if you are really, really very satisfied with this core foundation, if you are super satisfied with up to now, all people just post super satisfied Sanjay in your comment section, guys.